Hey there everybody, and welcome back to another challenging task. Now for today's problem, I really need your help because over the last week I've been doing a little bit of research into some old chance games, and I came across this Native American Indian game called Throw Sticks. So this was a game that was quite old and used to be played by the Native American Indians over in America. And so basically it involved these three sticks. Now I've just made my own bit, and theirs might have been decorated even more beautifully than these, but it involved three sticks that are decorated on one side and a blank on the other side. As well as the three decorated sticks that are decorated on one side and blank on the other, this game also involves 10 stones. And the whole aim of the game is to try and win all 10 stones. And you win stones by holding the sticks in your hand and then tossing them onto the floor, and then based on whatever combination comes up, you earn a certain amount of points. But here's the problem. Because this game is so old, we don't actually know which combination gives you how many points. So if I had, here I've got 2 blanks and 1 decorated, I don't know how many points that's supposed to be, which means I'm not sure how many rocks I'd get to take based on that throw. So here's what you have to do. First off, you need to work out what are all the combinations that you can get from throwing your 3 sticks. Once again, I've got 2 blanks and 1 decorated, but let's see if I can get a different combination. Here's a different one, because you can see now I've got 2 decorated and 1 blank. So the first thing you need to do is find out all the possible combinations of what you can actually throw. And then it's your job to decide how many points each combination should be worth. And that's going to be really important, determining how fun the game is, because you don't want the game to be over in a second. For example, you wouldn't want to give 2 decorated and 1 blank 10 points, because then as soon as you get that, you're going to win. The game's not going to go on for very long. It's not going to be very entertaining. But for example, you need to think about something like getting all decorated sticks. What's that going to be worth? And you want to try and make the rules and the point system as fair as possible. And so what do I mean by fair? I mean that perhaps you need to think about how hard is it to get 3 of the one colour? Or how hard is it to get all blanks? And you need to consider that when deciding how many points to give for each of your options. So, first things first, I recommend that you make your own set of these decorated sticks. Now, even if you don't have isopole sticks at home, you could simply cut out squares or rectangles from cardboard, decorate one side, leave the other side blank. As long as whatever you're using to decorate is flat, so it's got 50-50 chance of being decorated or blank, then you're going to be fine. Because it'll be really important to have your own, so that when you decide on a point system, you can really test it out. But before you decide what points you're going to give each combination, you're going to need to know all the different combinations you can get. So this is where you really need to think about your problem solving strategies, and I really recommend you test all possibilities. So really try and work out what are all the possibilities, and not just recording the possibilities, but what are the chances of actually flipping and throwing each of the combinations? Is it more likely to get 2 decorated and 1 blank than it is to get all 3 decorated? Or do they have an even chance? These are the kind of questions you're going to need to work out, because it's only by knowing those questions that you're going to be able to decide on a point system that is nice and fair. So lastly, once you've actually worked out all the possible combinations and what's the chance of each combination happening, there's no real right or wrong answer as to how many stones each of those combinations are worth. What's important is that you can explain and justify why you've given each combination that amount of points. And so I really want you, when you're thinking about the points, be able to explain why do you think 3 decorated is worth X amount of points, or why you think 3 blank might be worth X amount of points, or why 2 blanks and 1 decorated should be worth something. So this task is all about being able to explain and justify why you've chosen the point system the way you have. And then hopefully, if you've picked a really good point system, then this game should be really enjoyable to play. And so it'd be great then to be able to have a game with mum or dad or gran or whoever else might be around at home and really test out your point system and think, was that fun? And then you might, from that experience, make decisions and go, oh, maybe the game went a bit long, so I think I might change the points this way. Or on the other hand, you might think, well, the game was over really, really quick. How could I change the point system to slow it down to get that kind of sweet spot where it's not too long, not too short, and everyone's having a good time? So hopefully you really enjoy this one. Just make sure you have fun with it. All right, thanks everybody.